Yo, I'm Jason from Ingested, and I'm gonna tell you about what my dream tour would be. First off, I would want to tour with Fear Factory, because Fear Factory were the first metal band that I ever got into. They were the first metal band that I ever heard. I think I must have been I was in primary school, so I'd have been about 10 years old, and I went round to my friend David's house for tea. I was having dinner at his house, and I could hear like this noise coming from upstairs, and I was like, what the fuck is that? So my friend David's like, oh, that's my brother Andrew, he's upstairs, he's just listening to music and stuff. And I was like, can we go and see? I want to know what's going on. Like, so we go upstairs, knock on his bedroom door, and he's like, oh, what's up? And David's like, oh, Jason just wants to know what you're listening to. And he was like, oh, it's Fear Factory, come on in. So like, he gets us in his bedroom, he's like playing all these records for us. When I was going home after tea, Andrew was like, yeah, why don't you take these CDs home with you? And he gave me Demanufacture and Obsolete to take home. So I took them home, and I didn't have like a CD Walkman thing. I just had like a tape, like cassette player. So the only CD player that we had was like, you know, one of them big like stereo things, the massive like 90s ones. And so I put it on there, put in some like cassettes, and just taped the entire CD, like both of them, and then I'd listen to it on my way to school and stuff like that. So definitely Fear Factory, because yeah, like they're the band that started me on metal basically. Then I'd probably pick Slipknot, because Slipknot in it, like that band changed my life. Like, so I remember when the first Slipknot album came out, and then I was hooked from that point, because I'd never seen anything like this, like all the masks, all the get up and all that stuff, and the music was just furious. And I was so obsessed with Slipknot when I was a kid that my mum gave me the day off school when the Iowa album came out. So I literally got the day off school, and I went to HMV in Stockport, and I got there at like, I think it was about 8:15 in the morning, so like 8:15 a.m. It didn't open till 9. And I was just stood there in the cold waiting for HMV to open, just so I could go and buy this album. And then I went home and I just listened to it over and over and over and over again. And yeah, and I've been a fan ever since. Like that album to me is probably Iowa's probably my favourite metal album of all time. So definitely Slipknot. I took my daughter, my 8-year-old daughter, her first ever concert was Behemoth and Slipknot. So I took her to see them at the Manchester Arena, which was sick as well. So yeah, so that Slipknot love runs in my family, I think. Next up, I would probably pick Pantera. Probably Pantera, because again, like, they're a band that had like such a massive impact on what I've ended up doing with my life. So I used to watch the Pantera home videos, and I'd watch them religiously, and I was just like, this is what I want to do with my life. Like, so that those home videos made me want to be in a band, because it was carnage, weren't it? Those videos, like, it was just chaos, like just partying all the time and all that shit. And like, obviously I've kind of grown out of that shit now, but like, yeah, I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for Pantera. And then I'd probably pick Lamb of God, because Randy Blythe's vocals had a massive influence on me, like when I started to do vocals, because before I joined the band that would become Ingested, I played drums. I weren't very good, but I played drums, and because I just wanted to be in a band. And then we was in college, and one of my friends who also played drums was like, oh, I've got like a death metal grindcore band going on, like, but we need a vocalist. Do you know anyone who could do like death metal vocals? And I was like, I'll fucking give it a go. Like, I just want to be in a band. I'd never done vocals in my fucking life. I was just like, right, fuck it, I just want to be in a band. And so I went home and I recorded myself singing Ruin by Lamb of God, and I recorded it in my mum's bedroom on this really shit PC. And do you remember those like weird desk microphones that was like dead thin, and you used to use them to talk to your mates on like AOL Messenger or whatever? And I recorded it on that, but I recorded it really, really quietly because it was like late at night and I didn't want anyone to hear what I was doing, so I was like basically whisper growling like this Lamb of God song. But they liked it enough that they asked me to come in and do a audition, and then I ended up singing Spheres of Madness by Decapitated, but I did it in a Polish accent because obviously he has a Polish accent, so I just mimicked what he was doing, and but then I got the job, and then yeah, the rest is history, and now I'm a vocalist apparently. Well, that was like 2004, so yeah, I'd like to think I've got a little bit better since then.